The European Union's new ETIAS policy has been delayed until 2025. For those of you that are familiar with this channel, you would know that a couple of months ago I made a video on how UK citizens will now need an ETIAS to enter the EU. And this didn't just apply to the UK, this applied to multiple countries, around 30 countries, that are on the visa exemption list when they're looking to travel to the European Union. However, the EU decided to make a similar policy to that of what the United States has, which is if you wish to enter the country and you have a passport that is on the visa waiver program, then you would need to get a glorified ESTA to enter any of the Schengen or EU area countries. And obviously the way I saw this was that if you had visa-free access to the European Union with your non-EU passport, you would now have a few barriers implemented in front of you that you would need to complete before entering. However, numerous articles have come out that due to multiple delays, this new ETIAS policy will now be delayed until 2025, as the initial plan was to start this at around 2024. So this means that if you are a citizen of one of the visa-exempt countries for the European Union, then you do not need to get an ETIAS to enter the country next year. You would only need to do that starting from 2025. Obviously, I'm not the biggest fan of this policy. I don't think it's the best policy out there. I think it does take away a little bit from visa-free access. When we talk about my passport has visa-free access to this country or this country, visa-free access should just be you pull up to the airport, you show them your passport, they look at it, make sure it's you, and they let you in. However, just to be fair, this new ETIAS policy, while I don't necessarily agree with it and I don't see many benefits in it, it isn't also the end of the world. It's only going to cost you, if you're over the age of 18, around €7. That's what numerous news articles are saying. And they're stating that it's going to be very simple, like getting an ESTA to the United States if you're on the visa waiver program. It's going to be something a little bit like that from what I can tell. Now, when I saw this policy being implemented, what I talked about on my previous video, which I'll have linked down below in the description, is that this shows you a great incentive to get EU citizenship, because then you will not be limited to the amount of times you can enter any EU country, along with the fact that you will not need to pay for this ETIAS. Now, if you are a UK citizen and you're thinking, how does this impact my free movement with the Republic of Ireland? Because obviously Ireland is a European Union member, but it's also a member of the Common Travel Area, so the UK still has free movement with the other island. Well, as a citizen of the UK, I'm not too sure about the other countries who are visa exempt currently from the European Union. You will not need to get an ETIAS to travel to Ireland. You will still maintain your freedom of movement. You do not need to get a 3-year ETIAS to enter the Republic. That does not apply to you because of the Common Travel Area agreements. Obviously, I'm not the biggest fan of this new ETIAS policy. Yes, technically it's not the end of the world. It's not a huge barrier for you. But still, I'm not too sure that it adds to your passport strength, because when we talk about visa-free access, having to pay for a glorified visa isn't visa-free access in my opinion. Let me know what you think about this new ETIAS policy that the European Union is trying to introduce. And if you like this video, you can click right here and subscribe to get information on YouTube. And alternatively, if you want to follow me on my other social medias, you can find my Rumble, Instagram and Twitter, otherwise known as X, all linked down below in the description.